Tēnā koutou katoa, everyone, and welcome back to Mucky Hope Productions. I'm your host, Mucky Hope, and tonight, it's once again another special night. You know, it's not very often that I get to sit down and chat with this absolutely handsome geezer all the way in Sydney. Everyone, please welcome the amazing Mr. Kahuna. How's it going, bro?
Thank you. I got my chalky milk here tonight again.
Oh, good on you, bro. I've
Nor of
only
my
got...
man. And of course, for old time's sake, I'm going to throw it out because I'm always happy to be talking to and podcasting with the great White Hope, the Wonder Boy himself.
You boy.
M-U-C-K-N-Y.
M-U-C-K-Y. Oh, man. I love chatting with you, bro. You know, like, still to this day, like, the best part about my trip to Australia was when we went to the finale watch party and I got to hang out with you and Michelle. Obviously, Sneaky Steve was great, but actually getting to hang out with you two was actually just, it was chef's kiss. It was amazing.
Yeah, I agree. Having said that, though, I still don't see any pictures of us in the background.
I'm getting there, okay? I'm getting there, man. Okay, I've got some frames coming. They'll be here. And then
it's me or Shinbadi, mate.
Yeah. Well, see, my plan is to move this to the bedroom, you know?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Once the pillow comes in.
Yeah, exactly. That's a story for cheeky naughty times. But I still have your Wendigo right here as well, Mr. Kahuna.
There you go.
It's something, okay? It's something. And yeah, welcome Liam to life. Mad Dog Liam himself. Can't wait, guys. And coming from Gabe. Welcome to life, Gabe. Mucky must be happy. His favorite cop won marbles lost. We'll get into all that. I was happy about marbles and Kahuna labeling Mucky the Great White Hope. I mean, I'm great and I'm white. And my last name is Hope. Like,
there you go.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Exactly. Gosh. No, but how are you doing, man? You know, we haven't really spoken since week one. Like, yeah, how have you been?
Yeah, doing good. I binged all of the challenges. Squid Game challenge today. I have a thing, like I try because I actually am a complete deviant that just consumes so much media all the time, whether it's like doom scrolling on my phone or watching a lot of TV shows. So I knowing that we're going to talk about it, I don't want to watch it earlier in the week and then have it all be replaced by all the other bullshit I watch between then and now. But the problem with that is it's 4 episodes. So I had to like just go back to back and raw dog it today. So every time I think about it, it's just 1 episode. So I guess that's good. We get to discuss it like it's fresh, you know, but going episode 6 versus episode 8 and blah, 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 what happened? I don't remember. I just know that I watched one giant Squid Game thing today and it was a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I will be perfectly honest. When we covered the Korean show season 3 together, and it was announced that like Squid Game America by David Finch is going to be a thing. Well, I think David Finch is a great director. I wasn't sure about it because I was like, they're just going to like milk the crap out of it. And, you know, when you keep making more and more stuff of the same thing, it gets more shit over time. But after this week, after seeing like a simple game of catch, be as dramatic as what it was. Obviously, we saw Warships last year as well, which was pretty great. Like even like it's snakes and ladders, but let's call it slice and ladders, you know, just because it's Netflix. But slice and ladders might be my favorite game this season. And yeah, and my faith in the American Squid Games is back. Like I'm really excited to see like how that you're gonna do and stuff. Even like the slice and ladders, I'd love to see that in like an actual drama show. Because yeah, I thought it was great. How did you feel about the games and stuff in this week?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm loving the whole thing of Squid Game, especially in the challenge, is that I've said it before and I'll say it again because every time I watch it, sort of reinforced, is that it adds life-altering stakes to what is essentially the most simplistic of childlike games, and it's so different to any like a podcast or a YouTube channel that covers reality shows. There's really nothing like it where so little is done as far as what the game actually is going to be. Like they literally give them marbles, and then it's up to them to figure out what to do. Like that in and of itself, the psychology of that adds so many like layers to it. What any other show we watch, they sort of dictate. Here's the game. Run the obstacle course. Do this, throw that, blah blah blah, and you're done. Whoever does the first thing. But this is like no. One person comes out, or both of you die. Figure it out. Like even that of itself. It's not the game, it's the psychology, it's the mental, it's the anguish and the torture and everything that goes into it that makes it so brilliant. And then it's also a super delicate balance they sort of walk, where a tightrope they walk, where because the games are so simple, because there's not a lot to it, so much relies on really crisp editing and like storytelling through other devices, the music that they build up and the way they cut and edit and set design and all that, because the game itself is not like big sets, big production, like there's no value in the game. They have to do everything around it, and I think they walk that balance super like really well, because it's super intense. And then you go, oh, hang on a sec, they're throwing fucking marbles at a wall. Like that should be boring to watch, but for all these reasons I said, the psychology behind it, picking which game, the going against a relationship, a partner, someone that you've built up, and then you mix that with the set design, with the editing, with the music, and the game itself doesn't matter. And that's kind of like brilliant to do that in a TV show and kind of allow free reign to the concept rather than having tight control over it,
Yeah, 100%. And two really, really great questions. Starting off with this one by Mr. Liam himself. How effectively did the editing of these episodes build the tension leading into the next phase of the game, the semi-finals? And also, I guess backing that up, production must be really happy a jury member has made the top 5. There's a great story that didn't have last time, because, I mean, obviously we'll talk about it once we get there, but I feel like since Trey left during the glass bridge, like, the sun, from that point all the way to the very end, all you had was Mai. And I'm not saying that everyone else was shit or anything, but it's because there's no real characters that have been built up, any storylines or anything like that. There's not like huge characters except for Mai. And so it's like when she went into the finals, like, well, obviously she's most likely going to win, right? Because who else would win? You know what I mean? Like, no one else would feel, I guess, satisfying enough from a story perspective. But going into the grand finale next week, and I genuinely have no idea who's going to win. Yeah.
I don't know if anyone else picked up on it, but the thing that I thought was so funny watching it, because my wife said it too. She's watching it, and my wife is whiter than you, Mucky.
Okay. Can I just say, I get sunburnt in July. Okay, you can't get more white than that.
Actually, maybe not, because my little dig to her, like forever since we sort of met, was always like, I think she's one chromosome away from being like ginger, from being orang. Like she's that close to it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But not quite ginger. So I guess maybe you got it a little bit there. But even she was like, I don't want any of the white people to win. And then it got to that point when I'm like leaving. You're talking about what it's like going into the final thing. I'm like, it's almost like a race war, like the way it's it's panned out, the alliances and stuff. Yeah. You're like, what's it going like? What's the tension? I'm like, the tension is it could be really bad.
Especially when they did the shuffleboard, and it's literally like, we know how this is going to work out. It's all the black people. What's our white people?
I was like, oh no!
No, I did find that pretty funny. I was like, oh gosh, this probably isn't going to end that well. It's going to be very feisty towards the end. But even then, I feel like each of the 5 players have got such a like random different journey on how they got there. Like probably Deja is probably the only one that was just like straight, lay low, make your way there. But like, you know, Perlis like handled some shit, Stevens handled some shit, Vanessa somehow scraped by so many different games. Like I still recall Mingle. She was randomly brought into a group last minute and her whole group got absolutely decimated in Mingle, right? And then somehow she just scrapes by all these different games and she's somehow there. You go in and like Trinity as well. You know, he's been really great all throughout. And yeah, like I'm loving this like way more than season 1 just because like I feel like it's still anyone can win. No one's too over edited where it's like, I think that person's obviously going to win or that person's going to have a fall or anything. But it's like a clean slate and, you know, it's very unpredictable, which is what I really like.
It's really interesting, like from a little bit more of a bird's eye perspective. Like I mentioned to you quickly while I was watching that, I messaged you and said it's just interesting how that like it's so clearly shifted and where they broke in the game after Mingle going into marbles for the first 4 episodes versus second 4, where it goes from massive group focused games to really 1v1, a lot more intimate. The numbers drop off dramatically. It becomes a different show. And then you can actually have like we said, it was a bit of a problem in the first season where by the time we got to the end, the characters that we had grown to love, you like we didn't like any of them, right? The guys that we all liked at the start were gone by the thing. And that was very much the case here. All the big characters early in the first 4 episodes pretty much went like by the first 4 episodes, the first couple episodes, and now we've got a different set, but you spend enough time with them that it didn't matter. We didn't get all the edits in the first 4. We don't need the same. I think one of the things about this show is that we need to come at it like its own thing and not have to try to make it fit Survivor, where we need to follow the character from the start. Episode 1, we're going to get a certain edit and see if we can follow their journey all the way through to the champion at the end and what we're used to in these shows. This is just a different beast altogether. And I think getting your head around, like we had that conversation with $1 Million Island, if you remember, talking about like our co-host Volt coming up next episode, hopefully, but how it's just so there's just too many cast. They go off too quickly. You can't get to know them. Don't get attached. That's not how this show works, kind of thing. Yeah. And I think that kind of is a little bit of an element with this, but it's almost like 2 halves. Because now, like, none of these characters, like you said, even the 11 or whatever, like, we got down to the 22 in the marbles, down to 11, down to 5, or whatever that we're going to go through. Like, none of them got big edits in the first half. Maybe Perla, I think, got a little bit of the show, but no one else, really. But now we get them. We get their show, their episodes, their focuses, blah, blah, blah. And I'm still loving it. Like, it's not like last season, as you said, there was a real issue of, who the fuck is this person now? It's like, no, we've got a whole bunch of people that we actually do care about. If you take that focus of the first 4 episodes is a different phase of the game, and now we're and you get different character casts to come through and meet and follow their journey. Like, it's such a wanky thing to say, but we do reality TV, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, let's actually like break into what actually happened, right? So the first game is marbles, right? The cliffhanger on the very end is that everyone who was in pairs for the last round of Mingle is actually now having to verse each other in marbles. And there was one thing which I really wanted to speak with you about, Kahuna, and it was Eric and Melissa. Now, apparently, they knew each other from online Survivor games, orgs, and stuff like that from way back.
Right. Okay.
And, anyways, Eric told Melissa, obviously during marbles, that he was lying about his kid, expecting all that kind of stuff, and she got really emotional about it. And it's a very interesting thing. I feel like we see it later on, even in the Snakes and Ladders game, when Kate, tells Perla, "Oh, if you're so sorry, well, why don't you tell that to my son?" Where people get so personal when it comes to family stuff and whatnot. And I'd love to hear from you because you're a family man as well. You've got your own kids. What would matter more to you as like a winner? Is it someone who genuinely played a really good game, entertaining, exciting, all that kind of stuff, or someone who, I guess, genuinely really needed the money?
I don't know. I've thought about this a lot because I'm really torn by it. Because I feel like it's almost like if I want to get philosophical again and go on a little bit of a rant, and I will say, I'm a little bit medicated at the moment, Mucky. But thinking like philosophically, right? Watching this show and the difference between like seeing the way they interacted. First of all, Eric, like what a dumb move, by the way. Like, why even say it? Like, what's the point of
I mean, I think it was kind of like, well, as we talked about mostly last week, right? It's like anything to get the screen time. You get what I mean? And this is how Eric goes out. It's how he does. Hey, he at least got shown quite a bit on his way out, And so
now that you add a little bit of shading and context and see that he's a Survivor org player and knows reality TV and stuff as well, like he probably is angling a little bit for it, but not game wise. I don't think it was a smart move in the slightest. But where I was going with it was seeing like some of the reactions and the way it was most crystallized for me in the shoots and or the slides and ladders with Steven being the poker player, who is also a $6.5 million
that was
prize winner, right? And then you've got what's her name? I don't know. 3-6. The mum who wants to use the money to help her, sick child, etc. Yeah. And this disparity, this discrepancy between the two, and that gap is like on one end, one of them is exactly what the proper Squid Games is meant to be, right? And in my heart, I'm like, I wanted to go someone who, I don't want the fucking $6.5 million poker winner to win more money. Like, fuck off. He doesn't need that. She was right. He doesn't need it. She needs it. Like, even though she's didn't win any fans with the attitude, like clearly her circumstances was more. And yes, it plays to my emotions of that. And I think that's part of the way the game is designed, because if you look at it by pitting those two extreme ends against each other, and it's not just those two, we see that multiple times throughout, right? I said even last week that originally I was like, I don't want the real estate broker and the Denver Broncos cheerleader to win. Like there are people that really, like, that's how I genuinely feel when it comes to that kind of life-changing money. And that's my default base state. It is. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm looking at it going, they've made a game where either you don't need it, and you look at it like a game, like you said. You don't have the family and the kids and the things worried. And on one end of the spectrum, it is purely a challenge. It's the game. The poker player is like looking at this as a challenge to win. It's not about the money in the slightest, right? And out of that attitude, out of that approach comes a real like cold-heartedness that you can approach it as a game. It's not about the people, and you can have that I don't care attitude, blah, blah, blah. It's the same for like the people that approach it from the sports perspective. I'm an athlete. I've been playing sports my whole life. I win competitive nature. And you can do a lot of dehumanizing shit when people are like standing in front of you, because it's just a game, right? Especially because they make it childlike, regressive state games. Like it's not that serious. It's not that big a deal. Like, stop taking it seriously. And because to them it is a game, it doesn't matter that much. On the other end of the spectrum, you've got people that are so desperate to win, they know what it would do for their life, that they will do whatever it takes. So then they will also do some really dehumanizing shit, go against their own morals, treat it like, no, I don't care what it takes. I'm doing this for my son. I'm going to make people feel bad. I hope they feel bad. Like this kind of a thing. It's almost like it's the genius of it. But then I feel bad because like we forget that that's kind of what the point of the original Squid Games is, right? Like how shitty society is, that these people are forced to put themselves in a situation like that. And then we're making a game of it where people are literally treating people badly for the sake of a game that really doesn't matter to them in the end. And I'm like, I feel like You know what I mean? Like, I know it's not, but at the same time, that was kind of the point. It's like the people that love Fight Club and think Tyler Durden's a hero when it's meant to be like an anti-story. That thing, like,
Yeah.
we're like glorifying the bad aspects of it.
Yeah. No, just really quick. Hey, Bloody Money, welcome to the live, brother. But I guess for me, it's like how I sort of look at it, because obviously I don't have
Your game, right? Your game focus.
Yeah, I'm more game focused. But then again, my favorite Survivor player and probably reality TV contestant of all time is Luke Toki from Australian Survivor, and he's most famous because he's the Aussie family man. He's like your everyday like father who wants the best for his kids. Obviously, he's got 2 sons with autism, daughter with cystic fibrosis, and but other people resonated with him so much that when he got voted out in season 4, Champions vs Contenders, fans literally donated $500,000 through like GoFundMe to him because they were like, that's how he got voted out, right? That's the impact Luke has on the Survivor community. And I think that's wonderful and great. But also he's like a gamer as well. He's not just he's family man. Right? He's perfect hybrid, right? And then you get players like George, who's obviously a gamer, right? And George, I mean, he's a very interesting player because you either love to root for him or you just like love to root against him, right? And you know, we kind of had that on and off throughout Heroes vs Villains when we did that together. But for me personally, I feel like end of the day, like if the best player always wins, right? And so it's like if you're somehow able to bring yourself to that win, whether it's trying to use your sob story of this is for my kids and stuff to try and make your way to the end, or if you just literally outplayed and outsmarted everyone, like what Mai did in the first season, then I think it's all props to you. But yeah, I think the best player will always win.
Not always, but yeah, I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Like on a distribution of like 1,000 times, the best player will win. You know, the overwhelming plurality majority.
Yeah. And just a great comment here from Gabe. The main point of the TV shows is that, but this is more of a reality TV show. Kahuna, you got to remember that this isn't the TV show. It's a game of competition. It isn't trying to have a message. I mean, it was kind of funny, like how obviously this reality TV show was made after season 1 of Squid Game in 2021, right? And one of the main messaging they have of it is, look how like fucking disgusting the VIPs are, the front man, the old man for like organizing, running the games, betting on people like horses. It's pretty disgusting. So we're going to make a reality TV show about it where we're pretty much the VIPs. Which is always pretty funny. But but I guess let's move along. So I'll just go through all the different main pairs we have. So Perla's brother Jeffrey, he gives up the marbles to his sister, right? And he even said himself that he's quiet, he's reserved. I was like, oh, is that why he's gotten like literally nothing?
Yeah.
I felt bad for him, but yeah. So he gives up the marbles to Perla, and once again, it was such TV gold having the father and the daughter play together. But this was a lot more wholesome than Trey and Leanne, because, like, I think both of us would agree, if Leanne could smash her son's ass, like she absolutely would, right? No mercy given. But with Kurt, I felt like he might have thrown it here. Do you reckon he threw the game to let his daughter win, you reckon?
Look, as a dad to a daughter myself, if we're playing a video game or something, I don't throw. Like I don't like. Actually, probably a little bit. I try to keep it close, but I'm not like, oh no, you beat me, because we'll start again and she'll get better and she'll learn, right? But in that, there's zero chance I win against my daughter in a situation like that. Zero chance that I would ever, like, I give her the food off my plate every, like, do you want some of my, like, there's no chance I would ever beat her out of a game like that where, it's go home, you're done. I'm not taking that away from her. Like, I'm hoping he threw it. Like, I hope he did throw it.
Yeah. Well, he's kind of like, "Oh, you got me," and she's like, "Did you throw that?" Dude, he's like, "No, I don't." And then as he's giving her a hug, he's like, "What father would win against their daughter?" It's like, he's saying two different things at the same time. So I don't really know.
He
But
kind of, he gets he gets the best of both worlds there, right? Because like if he tries really hard and you lose to your daughter, then you lose to your daughter. You suck.
yeah,
Or if you win, then you're a fucking asshole anyway. So you might as well like say I lost on purpose to get the kudos that you made the sacrifice without even potentially losing actually losing.
Yeah. And just a couple of great comments here. One here from Bloody Money. I hate marbles. It reminds me of Ali lost and getting killed. Oh, that was so good, that episode. What brings me to tears every time though is when Sae-byeok's friend like sacrifices herself. Like that's when the tears start forming. Then Ali getting shots when they start streaming. It's what a great episode! What a great episode that one was. And Pillar had a big edits over her brother. Parent always sacrifice themselves for their child. And here's one for us, Kahuna. If we had to do marbles, well, I'm going to add another one in. What game would we play? Yeah.
Good question. I don't know, because like I said, the fact that they even let them choose, they're just like, here's some marbles, figure it out, just adds such like complexity. And we see so many different versions of it. The fact that Eric is I found fascinating that Eric is so calculating to the point of making up a bullshit baby and stuff to ingratiate himself within, and then would blow it all on a 50-50. Pick one, just zero. Whereas other ones are like, I'm gonna suggest a game very forcefully that I think I would have like an edge on. It's just really fascinating to see how people would pick. Do we just put it straight up to luck, or do I want to try to pick a game where I think I've got the edge? You know what I mean? And I feel like I would try to pick a skill game. Like I hope, like I'm not athletic, but skill game, getting marbles close, that's stuff that I feel like I could be okay. But then again, I think everyone who's in that situation thinks they're awesome at shit, and they're probably not. Yeah. You know what I mean? I haven't thrown a marble since I was 8. Since I was 8 years old. But, in my head, I'm like, I did marbles when I was a child. It's only been 35 years or whatever. So... Who the fuck knows? But I think I'd want to go skill-based and try to get something where I'm actually competing rather than just straight up
I did like the tic-tac-toe game that Zoe and her dad were doing. I thought that was quite a fun one.
Yeah, because it's almost like double skill.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like not only are you playing the game of tic-tac-toe, but you have to actually make the shot as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But otherwise I can't really think of many marbles games that we would do. Who can throw it the furthest across the other side, Can you imagine that? Just accidentally knock someone out as it coming down.
So what are you two playing? We're playing brandings. We're going to see who can hit each other with the ball as hard as we can. The marble,
the first one to knock down. Who
has the worst welt losers?
Or what is it? Did you ever play Forceback? Or do you guys have Forceback in Australia? It's where you have it's like a rugby ball, right? And you start from the halfway mark, and you kick it, right? If you catch it on the full, you take 5 lunges forward, and you just have to keep on kicking it more into the other person's side and stuff. And when you think you've got a good shot at the goal, you take a shot at goal and you win.
No, that sounds like a fun one.
Yeah. Maybe we should do it with the marbles, just across the other side. Everyone's playing their game like, man, I didn't take my shot.
Like you said, we could pick our game, man.
Exactly.
We're playing tackle football with a marble.
And Gabriel says, I'd be just one closest to steps like what the cop did. And people trying to game it or have an advantage to rig it. And you can hold that one people. It's just like, hey, we should do this game. No, I'm only doing the throwing one. Well, I'm not good at throwing.
Yeah,
we're tough shit, bro. Yeah, nah. Yeah. Oh yeah. But
kamikaze it.
Yeah, and so Zoe, she beats her dad in tic-tac-toe, which is pretty, like, every time you've got a situation like this, it's always, like, pretty sad to watch. But then Matthew the cop, our boy Matthew, he edges out Peter in the game of throwing it the closest to the step. I was wondering in a game like that, you could probably just, like, steal the other person's marbles while they're there. Like, while you're counting, it's like, oh, yeah, I guess let's just pick them up, just like...
I'm assuming they'd be watching it pretty freaking closely, no?
Yeah, true. And what is it? We do get a little bit of Steven throughout this episode as well, where he's, like, trying to be all goofy and funny with the chick he's with, and she's, like, laughing, but because she's laughing, she's not concentrating on what her face and hands are doing, and that's how he's able to pick which hand has the marbles in, which I thought was kind of clever, because she, like, naturally defended the one with the marbles she has, so
yeah,
there's some smart moves there. But yeah, we lose Eric in this game. He was a pretty big one, as we talked about, like 50-50, and even Melissa was like, how stupid of him to tell me he was lying about his kid and then go out that way. And then we lose Peter as well, the boy who dogged in the other twin brother and Mingle. I was pretty happy he was gone. I was like, that's karma, and because I just like Matthew a lot as well. And Marcus as well. We were talking about last week. Marcus, he's like the big guy who got the advantage in the spoon about Mingle.
Right, yeah. He's the NFL player.
Yes, right? Yes, the NFL guy. Yeah, I think
Baltimore
so.
Raven.
Hang on,
yeah.
I'll quickly bring him up. Where is he? But he looks like an NFL player. It's this guy here. If I just go share screen.
The big dude.
Is it okay? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
he played for the Baltimore Raven. Another player, like, with millions and millions of dollars from his contracts, I wouldn't have wanted to win in the end. Yeah. I think, like, Gabe, you got to admit, though, a show like this is coming at a really weird time in, like, not to make Mucky Productions into a politics show, but with the way the world is at the moment, like, as far as the billionaires and the rich and people struggling with cost of living and all this sort of thing everywhere around the world, it feels like it's like the perfect show to encapsulate that war. You know what I mean? Not war, like, but that thing between the haves and the have-nots, and the people that really need it and the people that are just there for the game. And this is kind of highlighting it. It's really fascinating.
Yeah. But Gary says it's not really stupid to reveal that information about, like, because I guess this goes back to, like, the gamers versus the family argument, right? It's either you lose and you leave, or he does it, it's no loss for Eric, because either way, this information isn't getting out. If he stays in the game, that means Melissa's gone, right? And just continues his streak of lies. But
one counter argument, and it's a weak one, I'm grasping at straws, but I wonder, had he not done that, if he could have got around to a different game that may have favored him a little bit stronger, because he ended up doing just red pill, blue pill. I'll give you a chance. Good versus evil. Let's just, and I think there may have been a tinge of guilt to that, of just pull the Band-Aid off kind of thing. I don't know if that's would have been his strategic thought for someone that thinks on that level. I'm wondering if maybe that may have been influenced by his guilt because of her reaction. She didn't say, like, she didn't appreciate the gameplay of it. She was hurt by it. And I think he said, oh, fuck, let's just do it this way. Maybe that's an argument to keep it to yourself, that you could have talked her into a different game where you can give yourself better odds than 50-50.
Yeah. You win. You win. Can't hate them. Kind of like Survivor. No ill will, no matter if they're rich or poor. Yeah. Yeah, no, it was like that strategy. Wasn't there a person in season 46 that was lying about being a millionaire, so then she'll get dragged to the end? It was something like that. Yeah.
Oh, because they can't win it. Because they can't win at the end. I guess that's the thing. Like, it came up again here multiple times in this episode. Or not multiple, but at least once, with Steven really, like, doing himself a disservice, especially who he chose to spill it to. So it's playing a role throughout the thing because we hear it in their sub stories. It's part of the narrative. Is that these people need it? You know what I mean? They're desperate for it. Otherwise, why do we hear about the sick kids and the parents that need this and their poor upbringing and blah blah blah? It's because they want that to be part of how we feel about it and why we are so passionate about these characters winning and or losing.
Yeah. Earl in season 14 of CEO, he beat a former homeless guy dreams.
And I was going for Earl as well. Now I hear that back in real time. I'm like, shit, that sucks.
Look at you now. Oh, screw the rich. We're only here for the poor. But yeah, go rich. Go Earl. Beat the homeless man,
Yeah.
Well, we do get our first, I guess, twist of even Gabe's calling out your shit now, Kahuna. See, but yeah, we get our first twist of the second week where they have to nominate 3 players to be a monitor inside the dorm, and they choose Max, player 230, we haven't seen before, our boy Isaiah, with the good old cheeky cake, and also Kate, who are going to get a lot throughout this week, who she is a mother and her son's got a lung infection. And so the money for this is obviously going to help, help with this breathing, help him live and stuff. But what's really funny is Matthew was like, nah, I want to be a monitor. Like, come on, paper, scissors, rock. No. He's like, no, come on, paper, scissors, rock. This is unfair. It's unfair.
Stop resisting.
Stop resisting. This is unfair.
Just making friends all over the place.
Yeah, and I forgot who said it, but someone was like, no, it's not that we don't want to do paper, scissors, rock. We just don't want you to be the monitor. Just calling it straight to his face. And then he goes and he takes a nap, which, I don't know if it's thing where it's when you really don't like someone and, you just see them do anything, it's like, oh my God, now they're doing this, they're doing that and stuff. And it could be something that's they pick up a rubbish bag on the side of the road. It's like, oh my gosh, who does he think he is? Mr. Save the Environment, But I kind of felt bad a little bit for Matthew here because I don't think if he, chatted with anyone, if that would have helped. So, you go to bed, have a nap, wake up better. Yeah, you can't go wrong.
Really sulking. He was having a sook nap. I have 3 kids. I know what that looks like. He didn't get what he wanted, so he went and cried in the corner. That's fucking funny to me. Especially so aggro, and his response is to go have a lie down and not talk to him. Oh, talk to him.
Yeah, well, he's got to build up the energy to pull on the same stop resisting to every single game, right?
Yeah, you're right. He's got to recover once all the blood is in the veins in the neck and all that kind of thing. It's got to restabilize the system, right?
Yeah, and it was really funny because later on the guards bring out a gift for the monitors. They get very special blankets and they have to choose someone to make their bed. I was like, oh, is one of the monitors going to get Matthew to make them their bed? That'd be so funny. Hey, buddy, wake up! You got to make my bed. You get it because you're not a monitor, and I am. Make my damn bed.
I was looking at it, going this show, or if it already didn't have the most I've been talking about the psychological side of it already, and I'm looking at it how they've got the monitors with the special bed sheets, and are they going to fucking do the Stanford prison experiment on these people in 2025? It's. Do you know what the Stanford prison experiment is?
Isn't that the one in Russia where they force people to stay awake or something?
No. It was a thing where they got students, and you pick some. They're all students. They're doing an experiment, but you get some to be the prison guards. And you give them instructions and see how they follow orders and blah, 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 and how quickly they become separated from their fellow students. It was used as to show them how easy it was for World War II Germany and all that kind of thing, like showing that power and then instructions and then separating you from the other people could make them do some really terrible shit. And I was like, why are they doing that? I'm like, what are they going to do to these people? Like making them build up that resentment. Oh, look at them over there. They're the monitors and get special treatment and all that. I was like, this is going to turn really, it could turn nasty if you have to build that up while they're so desperate, you know?
Yeah, and Gabe, he did a paper on it, and there's also a movie about it.
Did I get that right, Gabe? Like I think I got it. I'm pulling from the deep, dark recesses of my mind on that one.
What's the movie name as well? That seems like a really good one to watch. Do you know what the movie name is?
No, I can't remember.
Hey, Gabe, let us know what the movie is. We'd love to watch it.
In the zeitgeist, in the abstract of it. I can't even remember if I've actually read anything on it or just kind of absorbed it through pop culture or something.
Yeah, and but also on top of that, to make people just hate them even more, they get fresh pancakes and orange juice.
Yeah.
And we hear from Trinity, he loves orange juice. And do you know what this reminded me of? It reminded me of that show. It was like early 2000s when I was growing up in school. But Keenan and Kel.
Who loves orange soda?
Kel loves orange soda, you know.
Is it true? Is it true?
Wait, what does he say?
I do.
Oh, I do, yeah. Yeah, I forgot how this one goes. Bro, I haven't seen that and Drake and Josh. And my sister, she watched H2O, Just Add Water. Those are like the three shows we watched growing up.
Warner, clear.
Mm-hmm. And if you separate groups and give power over others, the group in power will treat the other horribly. Yeah, well, I mean, we didn't see that this time round. I think they're kind of like, hey, something suspicious is going on. It's been too good, you know, and I think, and, you know, there's that saying, if it's too good to be true, then it is, because the monitors have to select 3 people, right, to go up for elimination. And they pick 437, who's Karim. He was like Peter's mate who dogged in the twin brother. Oh, and here we go, the Stanford Prison Experiment 2015 is a film. Shot Gabe, I'll make sure to save that and I'll give that a cheeky watch. And what was it up to? I'm Craig 417, who we haven't met yet, and of course our beloved Matthew, player 98. And you know, they walk into the 2 rooms, and there's like a box in the middle, right? And it's a game of sacrifice. So one player must sacrifice himself to save the other 2, but the twist is you're also eliminating the other group as well. And if you're the last one to put it in, then you're. I mean, how do you even do this?
Again, just.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like if they didn't make a Squid Games show, they could have made this like with Saw. It's so torturous, like to feel like you there's no, like, I don't even know, like, how do you force someone to sacrifice themselves?
Yeah,
because there's no incentive there either, because like if I don't do it, we're all going to die anyway. I'm only doing it to literally be the better person for you guys. Like, that's the incentive at that point. Like, that's so fucking hard, man, to convince someone to do.
Yeah.
And they let Kate, like, they just let Kate get a full pass on that.
Yeah, because she's like a mum and stuff. You know, once again, it's all, it goes back to what we've been talking about this whole podcast, always about the cause, right? She's a mother with a sick child. Nah, let's leave her out of this. She deserves to stay.
Are you surprised we actually got we got acceptance from both sides? Because I thought, knowing what we had last season, where some people just flat out stonewalled and refused, we saw it multiple times with the cookies thing, like wiping out entire teams just because, no, I'm not fucking doing it, and then I'll take everyone with me. And then we saw that a few times. But this season, maybe that's like something like, we have to move or we die. Like, we're out, or we do something or we're out. And we're seeing not a lot of like the complete, you know, everyone dies kind of thing. It's like they're taking action, which is kind of fascinating to see.
Yeah,
Because,
well, I
like I
think
said, this one would be like hard to convince me to. Like, I don't know how you even convince someone to do it, but they got there. They both do it at the same time.
well, as Gabe says here, that most likely one group was like way faster, sacrificing the edit just made it look closer.
Probably.
Matthew's group might have been like an hour later. We'll never know. I mean, like, because I guess it's like, you know, when you're trying to edit someone trying to find an idol, right? Are you going to show them like the hours of footage where they find jack shit, or the 3 minutes where they actually find it? You know, I reckon it probably went on.
That's like we don't. It could have been like 12 hours in. They're like, fine, I'll fix this rock then. Shit.
Yeah. I also think like the interesting thing is like you're going to get eliminated anyways.
Yeah.
Right. All right. We might as well suck it up. Just play this game. Try to be as fair as we can. Just because, otherwise, if not, we're all going to get eliminated, and this argument means shit. You know. And so, both groups doing some kind of paper scissors rock between our boy Isaiah and the other monitor Max. Max loses. He gives up his thing, and poor Matthew is gone, Kahuna. I was actually sad.
Oh, no.
I was like, no way it gets taken out like this. Like, absolutely devastating.
Like, he can't, like, he genuinely, like, the whole time, like you said, even when it came to selecting the monitors, even then into this one, fair go to him. Like, he got them moving. Like I said, sometimes the Stonewall is the biggest issue, but he just can't help but, like, cop, like, the whole time.
Stop resisting! Play paper, scissors, rock!
Like, he cannot, like, the whole first 4 episodes, like, he's going, man, like, everyone fucking hates me here. No one likes me. I can't believe it. He's like, it's like, I wonder why. Surprise Pikachu face the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, I was not saddened by Officer Matthew leaving.
Yeah, and
although I am sad a little bit because I 100% know he's gonna go home and bash his wife.
Oh God! But I've been Matthew's side one. Well, I mean, it's a thing where Isaiah, like he's been slowly building up screen time and stuff. We got a little bit from Kate as well. We know nothing about Max, so it's like 2 for the price of 1. Now Matthew is obviously an extreme character compared to Isaiah and Kate, so I'm kind of sad. Like, imagine if we had like Matthew in Shoots and Ladders. You go, man, why are you picking me to go down the slide? I'm not going down the slide. Someone else goes down the slide.
He would have fucking shoved someone down the slide. Like, he would have forcibly pushed them down into it.
Yeah. Or in the circle of trust, well, why are you giving me the box? Why are you giving me the box? You know, like, oh. It's so funny. But yeah, I did like Isaiah, I did like Kate, and I think, you know, they both equally brought great stuff with them, you know, throughout the rest of the 4 episodes. So it's kind of like with Matthew, it would have been the same stick, while it is a very funny stick. Yeah, like, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like long-term versus short-term kind of thing, you know? And like, we got 2 for the price of 1, right? So while I was sad to see him go, I was like, I'm also excited to see what comes next, right? And even if Matthew's side survived, the 2 survivors would have been isolated because everyone agreed they were at the bottom. Yeah, exactly. And we didn't really know much about what the old guy 317 anyway, so it would have just been like Matthew, the lone guy at the bottom, right? So yeah. But you know, they the monitors, they win and they have to choose a new monitor. However, this monitor gets a very special power. She gets 10 coins. So the power to fully eliminate someone, and they choose Claire because she's quite level-headed in the alliance and stuff, and all is great until morning comes up, Kahuna, and Isaiah, he sits down Kate and he sits down Claire, and he's like, "Hey, I just want to let you guys know." They're like, "It's game on now. You know, I was a team player up until this point, but now I'm going solo. I'm not a backstabber. I'm going to stab you in the front, you know?" And he gives this whole like speech and stuff. And Claire's like, "You know what? I think I found someone to eliminate." And then she like, I know we talked about Eric, you know, like him telling Melissa, you know, he doesn't have a child, and Stephen telling Kate, that, oh, I'm actually like a millionaire from poker. But Melissa and Kate, at least they got eliminated before it could like backfire on them, right? Well, I guess Eric got eliminated before Melissa, but telling someone who has the power to eliminate someone right now, like, hey, just want to let you know, we're not teaming, bro. Like, yeah, you're all on your own, bro. Like, I don't know, like I really liked Isaiah, but it's like, what are you thinking, bro?
Especially on the contrast of like, he was like giving this thing of like, yeah, you can be as awesome as I am as well. Like, you can play this game and be the like, he was the good guy. He actually said like, I know I have a shining light inside me, kind of thing, and people were looking up to him. So there's a little bit of like, the higher you are, like, what is it like, tall poppy syndrome in Australia. Like, he was getting a little bit full of himself because he was playing so well and was in an elevated position as monitor because people saw him as trustworthy and all that sort of thing. So to be in such a high position and then undercut it feels like the fall, like if he hadn't built himself up to that position, then maybe you can bring that approach and not have it come back on you so much. If you know what I mean, like if that was already, but he had built up this persona and this gameplay of being the good guy, the cake giving guy, the one thing, like, and like he literally stood there with someone. You know what? Maybe if you try hard and take your vitamins and pray every day, you can be like me one day too, kid. Like, that was the conversation he had with someone, and then turns around and says that. That's tough. Like, that's a big, like, was it her that he actually said it to?
Yeah, so he said it to Claire, like, hey, like, this game on all this sort of stuff. I think the whole
bit about how you could be awesome like me.
I think that was with Faith, I believe. So someone else.
Right, yeah. Because someone was giving him a compliment. You're such a good guy, blah, blah, blah. He's like, I am. You know what? And you can totally be like me. Just,
Yeah.
Like, that's a hard spot to like then come around and go, hey, I'm going to stab everyone in the front. Like, it's a big contrast, and that's a hard thing to come back from. And like you said, you serve yourself up as a bit of a on the platter. I think he thought he was protected by the fact that he gave her the monitor. You know what I mean? Like, like there's no way she does it to a fellow monitor.
Yeah, and it's like it's like handing someone a knife to stab you, exactly. And at least keep up the facade of trying to be an ally. You don't have to believe it, just fake it. And yeah, he just got too comfortable thinking like going solo. I mean, like,
he knew that she had it, right? Like, he knew in handing over the monitor.
That was the whole thing.
That's just
a little bit of a bunny move.
Like, too comfy. There's like he knows she has it and still says that to her face. It's tough.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I understand maybe if they're like, really close friends or really close mates. Like, for example, let's say if we're at this point, because in Shoots and Ladders they had 8 groups of 2, 16. Yeah, so they're like pretty much near the 20 mark, right, at this point.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can see the money building up. I'm there, you're there. Like, you could be like, hey, Mucky, look, I've got a family, to take care of. This money's going for them and stuff. So if I have to kind of pick between me or you, I'm going to have to choose me, sorry, and stuff, which I think is a fair enough conversation to have between 2 close friends and stuff. So maybe they were really close and it just wasn't really showing. So maybe it's kind of him being like, hey, I can't keep having your back. I got to do my own thing for now. But still, if you've got all the power, Kahuna, and I'm like, hey, bro, just to let you know, I don't give a fuck about your family, bro. And I'm going solo because I want to, have the money to travel, to where I want to travel and stuff, you'd be like, well, I'm going to go to this arsehole. God. So, yeah, it was a poor move. But, we lose Isaiah. And I was sad to see him go. I would have liked to see him stay a bit, but it was chef's kiss. It really was.
Yeah, again, that contrast, isn't it? Like, just the complete swing, that we see in the edit from someone that I message you again. I go, oh, I'm really liking the edit here from Jose. He's looking golden. And then I message you like 5 minutes later. I go, oh, that turned really quickly.
And Kahuna would totally keep you still, Mucky. Would you still keep me if it was like down to the last 20? I was like, Kahuna, just want to let you know, I don't give a fuck about you and your family.
At that point, yeah.
Yeah, you'd still keep me.
At that point, I would. Like, I gotta keep. You gotta keep. You like. I would try to build as much, get as much as life. Like, as even if you say that, I hope that means what you said. I would interpret it like, if it came to it, I get it, but you don't have to take me out before everyone else. Like, we could at least help each other get past the other 18 first. You know what I mean? Like, if you have an alliance there, you got to foster that for as long as you can to protect you in any possible way that you can as well, you know?
Yeah. It would be pretty interesting if we got like everyone here at Mucky Productions on like some kind of game show. Well, I think there's like 9, maybe 10 people like here at MHP. I could be pretty cool if we all did something together, you know?
Yeah.
See how all that would work. Because what V and Leonie are like real life best mates. Obviously, we're best mates. Hamish is a best mate of mine from high school. Michelle, she's obviously gamer, smart. She's super great at these kind of things. Like Drew and Jake, obviously, are really tight from the American Survivor coverage. So I've got no idea how it will go. It'd be.
Yeah.
Among us. From South Africa. Yeah, exactly. Let's hire out a private Roblox Survivor server. We'll go to town. But we get some snakes and ladders. I mean, like, for you, like in Australia, is it snakes and ladders for you guys in Australia, or is it like slice and ladders?
It's snakes and ladders, and the American alternate that we'd always heard was shoots and ladders. I never heard slides. It was shoots. Shoots and ladders, or snakes and ladders. Ours was snakes and ladders.
I wonder if it's like, you recall how last season you kept on making that joke? Is Battleship, sorry Hasbro, Warship? I wonder if...
Oh, maybe. Does someone own shoots and ladders?
Maybe. I don't know. I'll quickly switch it up, actually. Here we go. Does someone own... what's it? Shoots and ladders, eh?
Shoots and ladders or snakes and ladders? Because I guess snakes, you can't do snakes and ladders. Like, they're going to go down a snake. But you can do shoots and ladders.
Yes, the popular board game known as Shoots and Ladders, often misremembered as Shoots, is owned by Hasbro. It's the same joke again. It's Battleship.
It is the same
Sorry,
joke.
Hasbro, it's Warship. Yeah, it's Shoots and Ladders. Sorry, Hasbro,
Sorry,
it's Slides and Ladders. And V's knees couldn't handle the challenges. Well, V knows how to accurately assess knees, and so I reckon, depending on the challenge, she would know like the right power maneuver she needs of her knees to complete the challenge. We're all going hundies, or some people's knees aren't working. V knows exactly how to work her knees to do the challenge escape. That's why she's the knees expert, and Shoots and Ladders for US. Yeah. And so everyone gets into 2 teams. We do get a thing where with this guy, I think his name's Derek, I think it is. No, Drake, sorry. So Drake, he gets left out of the pairs, and he chooses to swap with Trinity, which, you know, poor Drake gets eliminated and Trinity's there in the final 5. So, you know, what could have been, right? But essentially, it is a game just like Snakes and Ladders, Shoots and Ladders, Slides and Ladders. Sorry, Hasbro, where, you know, you got to roll a dice, move across the board. And I do just want to bring up just how fucking sick this actually looked. Hang on. Shoots and... I misspelled ladders somehow. Squid Game. Because I think out of all the games, this is the one that looked like the best. You get what I mean? If I just go stream. Where is it? Here we go. I mean, just look at this. You get what I mean? Like, you go across the board, you've got your different slides, ladders, your twist cards and stuff.
This 100% goes against what I was saying, of that so much of it is built around the simplicity and it's simple in that it's a children's board game, shoots and ladders, snakes and ladders. Sorry, Hasbro. But it's vast, it's big, it's like an epic big thing rather than just hand someone some marbles. But it does look phenomenal. I laughed my ass off though every time someone was like eliminated via the shoot, and someone did the CGI little animation of a person like dying into.
Did you see like the behind the scenes of it though?
No, I didn't actually.
Hang on. It was pretty funny because the set looks like way smaller than what it actually was. If that makes sense. Yeah, and so obviously it was CG and stuff. Because with the first season, they got stunt actors in for when they fell off the bridge. Which to me was so crazy. How do you have a stunt person for 456 people? You don't know who's going to be there at the end, right? And so, yeah, but I was like a little bit sad to hear that because obviously if I'm competing on Squid Game and I land on the wrong bridge, I won't get sent, like dropped to my death, you know? It'll be exciting. But yeah, they did have an actual slide that led somewhere, and yeah, I'll just quickly screen share it here. Is that working? Yeah. Here we go.
Come for me, my retaliation is going to be to come for you.
Steven is giving me death stares.
The actions of your teammate can affect you.
What I said?
Oh, dude, please, God.
Send a team to any ladder or any unused slide.
He did have the option to help another team. Just felt so targeted.
I'm going to take yellow down to 22.
To target us is just petty.
You started this. Good luck.
Watching the actual game played out with real people, with real relationships and real stakes really felt so dramatic.
Wait, hang on. I think I got the wrong one. Here we go. Here's the right one. So this is this ability.
That's awesome. Wait. Oh, this is just testing it? They're not. That wasn't the actual players.
No. It's been finished going where everyone went.
Yeah. Like I said, I love that someone had to like CGI animate like these little tiny figures going into the unlimited pit under like just into the blackness. Like you could see them like fall like this little
Yeah. No, but yeah, Steven versus Perlin, so we'll definitely get right on into that in the art of CGI. Yeah, I love this game. I think that this game was probably the best one they've done this season so far. What's your thoughts on this game, Kahuna?
On Shoots and Ladders?
Yeah.
Again, like the fact that we're playing Shoots and Ladders, it's throwing a dice. It shouldn't really come down to any kind of drama, but they threw in these cards, the twists, where again, the thing that makes this game different is that it gives players choice to like, and that's where so much of the drama comes from. You pick the wrong person and they hold a grudge against you for the rest of the game. You pick another person for another thing, and then they're saying, "How dare you? I have a son." Like it's so. I'm really glad that you showed that video where one of the production staff was saying that even in the room, it was dramatic. Like that, it came down to the anguishing choices. It isn't just editing and lighting, and what TV magic makes us feel it's tense. It was actually tense in the room. Is actually really cool to hear.
Like you have Perla who's just crying constantly. Like Mackenzie was fucking terrified every time she went down the slide. Even one time all by herself, literally a 50-50 shot, right? And obviously
that's
things really good.
So bad. That in of itself, the fucking mental torture of like 50-50 shot at death or keep going is so like,
and like I can see this being a genuine game on like an actual Squid Game show. Like I think with warships, it might be a bit harder to do because like literally blow up the ship, or do maybe just get a sniper to just shoot everyone every time they got hit or something. But But how do you keep everyone inside the boat still, you know? But whereas with this one, I could see this being like an actual genuine game. And I think that, it would be a really great one to watch.
Who do we lose? Anyone big in here in this
We
slot?
lost a couple of people that's kind of big. But just before, I do want to talk about the drama that started ramping up between so Pearl and Zoe was one team, and it was Steven and I forgot the other guy, you know, on the red. And Pearl and Zoe, it was Kevin. So Pearl and Zoe get a card where they must send a team to go down the slides. The first ever slides as well. And they choose the team that they're not very connected with. They choose Steven and Kevin. They go down one slide each, and Steven loses his friend. And he starts a whole revenge arc, and eventually he lands on one. And I mean, I kind of get it. You get what I mean? Where it's like, you know, like you came for me, so I'm going to come for you, kind of thing. Like an eye for an eye. I understand it from that sort of perspective. I mean, it sucks because of who we lost, you know, because Pearl and Zoe were like two of our main characters in the show. But I understood where he was coming from. But yeah.
Yeah, the thing that I found weird and disappointing about it is that the guy's a poker player, right?
Yeah.
He's there the whole time going, it's a game. I don't feel bad about it. It's a game, blah, blah, blah. But the the very first thing, which was a game thing, they're forced to choose. Like Perla said to him, you were given the option. You could either help someone or thing. And again, the moral dilemma as the pivotal point of drama in a show like this is so fucking smart. Like I love this that they're doing it. It's so easy that they're nailing it. And there are so many times the way it works out in this show that the producers must be just going, oh my God, I can't believe that we got these two together, or this happened, or so many times it's worked out perfectly for the drama of a TV show that the producers are like, oh, like what the fuck? This is amazing. Because the fact, like I said, he should be seeing it as a game move, because Zoe even said to him, you're already on the board. You're the furthest along. Like at any point, the meta game theory should be to punish the person that is furthest along because they have the chance to get, you know what I mean? Like, unless there's another one where alliances and strategy plays anything, but base meta should be they're the furthest along, you send them back because they're the biggest threat to you at that moment in the game. But he kept it fucking personal as shit, man.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's always a game thing until it happens to you, right? Then it's personal. Okay? Yeah, it's always fun in games that happens to you. And the way he delivered it was rough. I do agree. Perla can say now he's petty. Let's get him out for that. And Steven made the right choice. Logically reducing the pool, higher chance to survive. Yeah, I'd say so, especially because they were ahead of him anyways. You get what I mean?
Yeah,
But everyone does at that point. Yeah.
But that's part of the choice is game-wise, it is the smartest thing to bring someone back down. But do you make that choice to be the bad guy and own that? Or do you get the kudos and build the strength and the alliances and blah, blah, blah? And they pepper those choices in there. It's so smart. Yeah.
And we do get, this is the bit that ticks me off the most. Once again, as always, I feel like this is like the summary of this podcast. It's, family versus gamers, right? Where Kate tells Perla, so Perla gets one where you have to send someone to the start, and Perla chooses Kate's team, and because Perla isn't that close with him, and Kate says, what she say is Perla's like, I'm so sorry. She's like, oh, tell that to my son. It was pretty nasty. And Mucky, can imagine me. Sorry, my English just it died for 2 seconds. Mucky, can imagine me saying, tell that to my dead son or daughter to your face. How would you react? Well, Kahuna, you're the family man. How would you react?
Yeah, I'd be like, I got three kids. Like, fuck you. I get that. I have the ace in my pocket. I could do that, I know, but I also would never use them like that. But like I said, I think it is one of the built-in, baked-in things to the recipe by choosing people in a desperate situation where she has a kid that is in dire need of medical, expensive medical care. She said there's no cure. It's degrading. He's basically got a lifelong medical care thing going up. And they chose someone to be in that situation. They're going to get desperate. They're going to say shit that's not cool because to them, this is real life thing. It's not as bad as in the Squid Games where she's going to die. But on the other end, the negatives aren't as bad, but the positives are just as big as the real life Squid Game to her. Like winning this game is literally like winning this, get her out of all she can think about is her kid. And maybe that's on producers to not put someone that's that, in that dire of a situation that won't see it as a game because they can snap like that a little bit. It's not that she hasn't done anything major, but I do feel like that's where it came from. When she went down the slide and she heard that bad news and blah, 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 she could see it slipping away when she could picture in her head all the shit that will make life so much better. She's not playing the game. She's changing her life. And that's when... So is that on her or is that on the producers for picking that casting where it's going to be so monumental and so desperate that they kind of get a little bit mean because it's so big for them, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's the thing where it's like, it's $4.5 million.
Yeah.
Like this isn't like a transcriber.
People literally kill for that, right? For way less. Way less. People will.
It's like what? American Survivor's 1 million, Australian Survivor's $500,000. Traders New Zealand, I believe, like literally the final prize pot for the first season was like 70,000 or something like that.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Shit, man.
Yeah, I know. Like, I mean, it's New Zealand, bro. Come on, but yeah, and it's like,
and remember that's USD, so 4.5 million is like 3 billion New Zealand.
True, I didn't think about that, man. I really got to get into the next season. It's gonna go, bro. I tried for the 40 and 55 million at Lotto, and I got shit. So maybe if I wouldn't split a game, that would actually help out. But yeah, like, what was I going to say? Yeah, as I said, people would kill for that money, and I think it's when it's just so much. And what's really great about Squid Game that I feel like we haven't talked about is how they have the money in the room where they sleep. Right there. So it's like you're constantly seeing it. It's like a constant reminder. Like you can look at it two ways, right? A constant reminder to keep on pushing, keep on going, or you look at it like this money's starting to make me turn mad, kind of like with Gollum.
It's literally hanging over their head. It's like the sword of Damocles just hanging over their head while they sleep. Like there is some like allegory in that, like a metaphor in that for sure.
Yeah, dropping all that money, literally. Exactly, man, exactly. But we do lose a pretty massive character. We lose Zoe, the cheerleader daughter. And I'll say it to go.
I got to do a thing, Mucky, because you got super famous for like writing a song for a reality TV character that you really fell in love with. And I've done the same. I want to do the same. It's not because I really felt the same way about this character that you did, but it just so happens to be destiny that her number fits perfectly with this song that I wrote. So I think I kept singing it in my head every time, and I'm sure there's someone out there that's probably doing the same. I don't know if Gabe, you're the same time, but I'm going to do this now. Come on, Mucky. Do you know this song?
Yeah, I do. A wee bit, though.
You can all sing it. 369. Stand by. One more time. Get low. Get low. Get low. Get low. To the window.
To the window. To the wall.
To the sweat shoot down my balls. Till all these bitches go. Anytime I see 369 on my screen, I have to do that. Like she's there, I go 369. Damn you fine. Hope you can suck it to me one more time.
She did literally go low. And Kahuna's the pom-pom's ready.
Get low. You might get a copyright strike for that, Mucky. I don't know.
I mean, look, we're a pretty small channel. You know, if we get hit by copyright, then that's like an active war that someone's.
It was basically a live performance. You can do that. Like it's like a concert. I don't know if you could tell people at home. We didn't actually have Lil Jon in the studio. That was me. That was Kahuna. That wasn't Lil Jon. It's weird, I know, but it was actually Kahuna.
Yeah, see, here's where I one up to you, where I actually made, I did all the singing, I did all the instruments and stuff. It was very unique.
Me too. I wrote that. I totally wrote that.
That's what you did. Yeah, I do remember saying it was done by Kahuna. Yeah. Like even on there was one episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine where they played that song, and in the credits it said that you put that song in the show. That's
what I'm saying. I'm the East Side. I'm one of the East Side boys.
Yeah, actually, it's really funny. When I was a kid, right, and because when I was like a young kid, I was quite sheltered to the ideas of gangs, drugs, all that kind of stuff, right? And so when I went to my first high school, Mount Maunganui College, which I was one of the very few white kids there, that's where I first started getting introduced to all that. Not that I became a druggie or anything, but just realizing, shit, there's this whole other world. And people would ask me, am I East or West? And I used to be like, I'm East side of Papamoji, not realizing East and West was this whole fucking like gang thing that was happening at the time. And as the thing I look back to, it's like, oh my God, I was cringe when I was in year 9, when I was 13. But look at me, I'm a white boy in a gang, Yeah, cringe as cringe as you get it.
You had to freaking like the mocha or whatever. You get the face tattoo.
Oh gosh, if I ever got that face tattoo, I would want to be put down just because I'd walk around like the biggest asshole in the whole world wearing that tattoo. God. But and Bloody Money has applied for season 3. Hopefully you make it on, bro. That'll be super exciting. Money. Are we gonna apply for season 3, Kahuna?
We should, eh? You gotta apply.
Yeah. At least just throw our names in the hat, Imagine if all 4 of us make it on. Us, Bloody Money, and Gabe. Yeah. I think it'd be great. So goodness, imagining it.
Applications are open.
Applications are still open. Yeah.
Okay. And we get to be you get to be with someone from this season.
True. Yeah, we'll talk about that as we get towards the very end. But yeah, so we lose Zoe here. I do feel really bad for Mackenzie because Mackenzie makes it to the end. She makes it to the end so many times, but always has to keep on coming down because of the bloody slides. And she loses Drake in the slide. She then has to make a 50-50.
I laugh my ass off when they're like, we just need anything above a 3. Anything above a 3. And then it's like, and it goes 1. Oh, no.
Here we go. Mucky, you on the east side. It was with the Diddler you could be friends with. The Diddler. Kahuna, do you know who the Diddler is? Oh, he's supposed to. Hey, Kahuna, are you there? Yeah. Emergency podcasting break, guys. Is Kahuna still there? Who is? Oh God. Who is the Diddler? I'm going to quickly search up real quick while we wait for Kahuna. Who is the Diddler? Sean Diddy. Oh. I feel like I've got to do more research on this guy. An artful, needy swindler from James Kinney's 1803 play Raising in the Wind, who became a stock character given rise to the verb to diddle, to cheat or swindle. So that's pretty... Yeah, that sounds interesting. We'll have to do more research before I can be like, yeah, I'm the diddler, baby, And, Kahuna broke. He did break. All this talk about the gang shit. The gangs finally got to him. But Yeah, I'll just quickly go over snakes and ladders, or shoots and ladders. Sorry, slides and ladders. Sorry, Hasbro. Great, absolutely phenomenal. I love that, so much. And it was really heartbreaking seeing Zoe go. If I'm, his name is P Diddy Mucky. Don't say. Oh, that's what you're. That's what you're talking about. I did wonder, is this like a P Diddy reference or not? I didn't know, so I thought I'd search it up just to be safe. But I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad you told me, bro. Yeah, but like, when something wrong, I'm Eastside Papa Moa, known as the Diddler. Oh yeah. But it really sad to see So go here. This has happened twice now, where the parent is lost in marbles and the child free baby. I'm gonna bring this up when Kahuna joins back in, just like without any context, right? Just without any context, free baby wolf for Mucky, and we'll see if Kahuna can like piece together everything whenever he comes back. I should probably open up Facebook just in case he messages me. So I'm really bad. Every time I do it live, my phone is like almost like always flat. Okay, it'll be coming back soon anyways, which is good. But yeah, second time that this has happened where the parent always gets eliminated, the child survives the twist. Trey survived the they had to pick 16 people, I think, to move forward, and the other like 10 or so people got eliminated. Zoe also survives like the monitor kind of twist, right? And then Zoe and Trey get eliminated in a very dramatic way on, Glass Bridge, where, Ashley was supposed to pass Trey, but Ashley was like, nah, so Trey just jumps instead. And this was Zoe. She goes down for Perla, and, she gets sacrificed, which at first I was kind of like, oh, I wish Perla went down instead, but I like Perla a lot as well. Like, I think probably between the two, it's hard because I do really like Perla, especially going into the finale. I'm very interested to see where Perla, like what Perla's, going to do the final episode. But yeah, I was sad to see Zoe go. I hope she comes back for a second shot that Kahuna and I will chat a little bit more about as we get, towards the very end. But we do lose Mackenzie here. She was probably the only like not really huge character, right? She was a very so both are good TV. So yeah, 100% Gabe, 100%. Both of them are really good. But we do lose Mackenzie, who she wasn't like the biggest like character in the world, but like she consistently got screen time. Very similar with like Australian Survivor specifically, where screen time isn't just confessionals; it's seeing you like chat amongst people. And when I rewatched the first 4 episodes for the notes of the first podcast, she's someone who I forgot to put down in like the character thing we did, because she's in a lot of conversations, right? We see her with a lot of the big characters. She's with like Jonty for a bit. She's with like, the twins, and then she betrays the twins. And yeah, she's like actually low-key everywhere, but she doesn't have a lot of confessionals, if that makes sense. Whereas, someone like Zoe, she gets like a lot of confessionals, but I felt like we hardly saw her like, talking and hanging out with people. We did in the more recent episodes, but not so much in the first kind of week. But we do lose Mackenzie here, which is kind of sad. And pretty much we can skip right all the way through to the next game, which is the Circle of Trust, baby. The Circle of Trust, which we saw in the first season, where pretty much you just have to sit down around a circle. We saw that Trinity survived and got to skip right through to the next game. Which, I mean, with me personally, I was sort of like, why couldn't they do this with, our boy Jonty and August, Like, it would have been great if Jonty survived that. I wonder what sort of, like, havoc he would have brought on in the game of Mingle. But, yeah, Trinity survives, and he's sitting there in Circle of Trust. So, essentially, you sit there blindfolded. A guard will, walk around, and the guys will pull a number. And if your number's picked, you have to place a box onto someone's table. Which then once, I guess, the guard stopped walking, you would take off the blindfold. If you have a box, you have to try and guess who gave it to you, which is just such a great, interesting game as a whole. And welcome back, Kahuna.
Apologize. My
literally-
Squib ink pack went off.
Well,
I got
I mean-
really excited, and then I crashed my computer by hitting the table really hard.
Yeah, and
That's
and
how
just
passionate I am.
while your squid egg went off, we got some free baby oil for Mucky.
No, did he? What?
Yeah, we got some free baby oil for
What?
Mucky because I am because
Why you
on
getting
the
free
east side of Papamoa, I'm known as the diddler.
Yo.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I'm just we're just talking about we're just talking about the circle of trust now, Kahuna.
Yes,
on
sir.
the conversation about P Diddy and baby oil, the circle of trust, right? Where essentially you sit in a circle, and if your number is picked by the guards, you have to give a box to someone. Once the guards stop walking, if you have a box, you have to try and guess who gave you the box. And yeah, we saw this game in season 1. What's your thoughts on this game as a whole?
It's a good game. Again, there's just nothing to it. Put them in a circle, put a box down. But again, editing, lighting, music, everything, and the psychology of it, trying to pick someone randomly. Everyone thinks they're like these, human lie detectors. I know I'm a good I know when people lie. Like, no one knows anything. One thing I've realized in my 45 years is that people always overestimate how good they are at everything. And this is one of those things. Picking lies is really hard. And you see how automatically people go towards biases that don't even make sense, because Steven, he's a poker player. He's good at lying. Therefore, he has to be lying every single fucking round. Like, that's sort of it plays into the psychology of it, of just putting a box there, get someone to pick it. And they do it really smart. They get the guards to walk around the entire time, so there's no sound clues. You're hearing stomping all around you the whole time. I just imagine someone like tripping over and falling and hitting someone, like just being super clumsy with it would be so funny. Fuck.
That would be pretty good. Oh shit, sorry.
But again, something so simple, so smart, but the psychology is, can you tell if someone is lying, and do that? It makes for great television. It's a good game, and they brought it back, because it comes down to, it's not a physical challenge, it's not a thing, it's just straight up, can you pick if someone's lying? Who do you think is lying to you? It's so cool.
Yeah, but it's also so devastating, because if you've got the box on top, how are you gonna be able to do it? You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And as
that's the thing. They all think, oh, I can tell. We had
Yeah.
Steven at last.
With Steven, at least, him having such
At
a
least.
big rivalry with Taylor from the last game unintentionally protected them both. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And
I don't think
but
it should have. What's your approach to this? What's the strategy for a game like this when you're how do you do it? What do you think you do here?
So if I have the box, or if I've been am I the one giving the box, or am I the one who's received the box?
All right, let's say if you have the box.
If I have the box, well,
if you're giving the box.
Because it really depends on who is left in the game, right? Obviously in this situation, you're here, Bloody Money's here, Gabe is here, for example, and we've got some other randos, right? I could give it to a rando, and have that risk of, well, Mucky doesn't know me from a bar. So, yeah, like a red shirt, right? It's Mucky doesn't know me from literally a red shirt.
Rando.
Yeah. I feel like I'd want to pick someone not who I know. Obviously, if he's the best mate, I wouldn't want to just dog you in like that. But no offense, Gabe, love you, brother. But maybe I'll pick you just because we haven't we haven't met in person or anything like that, right? And so it's kind of well, I've got Kahuna as my best mate. Gabe I get along well with, but it's a good enough risk where Gabe might not assume me straight away. Because I feel like the first thought is, okay,
What about
like,
in the
what's
show?
the box? Like on the
what
actual
about
show.
in the show? Like, what do you think? Yeah, because I feel like Gabe mentioned that because of the rivalry that Steven and Perla brought into this game, they unintentionally had immunity. And I feel like it almost should have worked the opposite for Steven, in that your approach there of picking a rando so that there's no link and you're just as a random pick as anyone else. I feel like the same rule applies, but there's more protection if you just target Steven all the time, because he's going to think, is it a rival picking me? There's a level of complexity. Is it Perla? His natural instinct is to think Perla's targeting me. But then you go, wait, everyone's going to think that it would be Perla, so they would target, like, you know what I mean? There's more, just by making Steven, who has rivalries, who's not well liked, there's so many people that would potentially pick him with cause or with reason, that he's got so many people to get to before he picks you as the random choice. You know what I mean? Like, I would always pick Steven as the target, because I just feel like he's got so many people that hate him, he can't possibly pick between them.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a pretty sound strategy. I mean? Yeah, and just keep like dumping it onto the same person until they go or something as well. Could also be
same person.
Yeah.
My wife, my wife said, "What do you think of this strategy?" I don't know if this is good or not, but I laughed. She goes, "If I'm there, as soon as the blindfold comes off, every single round, no matter what, it was me. It was me. I did it. Give it to me. Give it to like." And then they're like, if they give it to you and it's wrong, one person dies, and then you put your hand up again, no one will ever want to give it to you. Like, say it was you, even if you are the person that got it. Like, every round consistently, it was me. It was me. It was me. And they're like, shut up when it's not you.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? It was like consistency is very important, right? Like, I've seen you play this card game before, but the bullshit game, like, have you played bullshit before, the card game?
Yep.
Yeah. So my thing for that is I always go like, all right, I'm playing two kings. Come on, Kahuna. You want to call bullshit? Come on, it's right there. Go on, just call it. Why not? Just get it over and done with. What do you have to lose? I'm clearly bullshitting, you know. And something that Hamish and I would always do together. We always play it with his brother and his brother's partner, and sometimes with another rando. Hamish and I will like team up just to stir shit. So he'll play like two kings, but I've got the last two kings. So I know it's bullshit, right? But then I'll let someone else play another card on top, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to raise you one. Is two kings. So we kind of know when each other's bullshitting. Yeah. So like, because we kind of like read each other pretty well. We know when the other one's like, kind of taking the piss or bullshitting, but we like to play on that rather than try and dog the other one in, just to mess with everyone. You get what I mean? And so, but unfortunately, it got to the point where
that strategy that Beck said, my wife.
Yeah, it could work, but the thing is, it has to be consistent every single time. That's where I went wrong. At times, like I tried to spice it up, where I'll try and intentionally let people call bullshit, because I just stopped being like, "Come on, it's bullshit. Go on," But what's it? So Hamish's brother, his partner, like her name's Kayla. She started to figure it out when I would try lure people in and when I wasn't trying to lure people in. Somehow she saw that click. To be fair, she's a counselor, so pretty great spotting. And every time I was bullshitting, she started getting it right every single time, and it always pisses me off because I had 3 great runs where I just completely messed with her, but now she knows how to call me out of my shit. And so I feel like as long as you're constantly consistent, like raising your hand like this, it's and as Gabe says here, there's also consequence to it, right? Where you'd eventually just stop being picked and just be called annoying. Yeah, it could actually work.
I'll get called annoying.
Sorry, what's that? Who would be called annoying?
I would be called annoying if I got through. Yeah.
See, this is where we need Matthew.
I'd rather get called annoying than called dead.
True. Yeah. Can you imagine Matthew in the circle of trust? Come on, pick me. Why aren't you picking me? I put the box on. Pick me. Pretty great. And getting people to pick Steven, hoping eventually it's correct. Plus, no skin off their bones. If incorrect, then some numbers. Exactly, bro. And with this one, we do see that.
Do you think people in that game? There was once or twice where I got the vibe that they were trying to get them to pick them, like when they were asking them up front. Not my wife's idea of going pick me. It was me, but when they were asking them, they were like going a little bit. No, it wasn't me. I swear. And they were like a little bit like hoping they would get picked, knowing it wasn't them. That do you think they were inducing a wrong call sometimes?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, I think it's like how long are they walking around? You know, you want to be in the action. It's like what we've talked about all of last week. You want to get the screen time. How to get the screen time? Oh, it's not me. Pick me. Then you're the one who dubs them in, right? So, yeah, because we do see a couple of cases where they don't show who put the box on the table. And ironically, I think it was both times Steven. One of them was Steven, the other one was AJ, where they put a box on there like the closest ally or an ally of theirs. And then, you know, they get juked out, and you get the final confession of it was actually me all along. Like, what's it? Two Steven, two AJ, and then one Kate. And one Kate, yeah. Yeah, and so what's it? So Kate puts the box on Melissa's table. Melissa gets eliminated. Then Claire gets a box from AJ, and then and Claire, she was the final monitor. She gets eliminated. Steven then puts the box on Faith's table, which Deja, who we haven't talked about yet. She clocks him, knows it's Steven, but she doesn't want to be like, hey, Faith, pick Steven, just in case if she gets it wrong and Faith gets eliminated. So Faith gets eliminated. And then AJ she betrays Chris. Chris gets eliminated. Then AJ gets betrayed by Steven at the very end. And that's kind of how all that worked out. And then we get to our final game of the week, Kahuna. Here we go. That one dude who tried pulling heartstrings using his family after he was one who said he'd never be. Who was the dude trying to pull the heartstrings? Was the
guy with the beard. He said, "I'm so sorry about my family." Oh no, was it Trinity? No, it was the other guy. Let me tell you a story.
No. Wait, who? Oh, it was Chris,
about his daughters and stuff.
His daughters.
Is it Chris? I don't know his name.
Yeah,
Chris. Chris.
It was Chris? Yeah. I forgot that part. Really? Did he try pulling the whole my family's tour on them?
318.
Oh, crazy. It's funny. I've seen this game now twice. I didn't even remember that. Nuts.
His strategy was, I'm going to see if I can make people squirm by feeling bad and guilty about my story. And if I see them feeling funny about how guilty it is, then that's his strategy. Which I thought was interesting if he could pick it, but that's hard, bro.
Yeah, and earlier Chris said he wouldn't use family, but did here. Yeah. I mean, it's that thing about, when you're on the verge of getting eliminated or in actual Squid Game when you're about to die, that's when the desperation mode kicks in and, all morals go out the window. You're doing anything you can to stay in, right? But we do lose Chris, Melissa, AJ, and Claire in this game. And pretty much straight after we get the shuffleboard, Kahuna, where, we joked about it at the start, it's whites versus blacks pretty much. Even though, I know what, which is a bit, oh gosh, but we do see here, and then we see what is it that they're actually competing in teams. If you shoot over the line, you're instantly eliminated, but if you are the furthest away from each group, then you have to duel off with the other person, and the one who loses that is the last one eliminated. And we see that Kate here, she gets eliminated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again,
what do you think about
it's just interesting coming from the grandeur of Shoots and Ladders to a game that is literally the game before the final where they get the tuxedo and they put down some tape on the ground. That was like they literally put tape on the ground. That was the entire set. Like that, and that's what this show can do. It can go from one end of the spectrum to the other, and it was still just as dramatic. This is basically the cops marble game, get closer to the line and see who wins, right? But with shuffleboard on the concrete and having that, you think, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, Trinity, he should be good at this. And he just chucked this crappy, like, shot out there. I'm like, oh, no, this could be really bad. Of course, Steven's fucking good at this. This sucks. Like, this is going to get really bad. But it's, again, like, for a single game to be so fascinating is really interesting.
Yeah, high-stakes kids games, 100%, brother, 100%. Well, I mean, let's quickly go through the final five, and then we'll talk about the second chance thing that's come up as well. But let's quickly go through the final five that are still here with us. So let's start off with Perla. You reckon she's going to take it out?
Yep.
Yeah, I think she's a top contender as well. Like, out of the five, she's been contender. Out of the five, she's like the most consistently shown throughout the entire series. I think, like, you know, Netflix has probably listened to a lot of fans' critiques of the first one being it's just Mai and a bunch of nobodies, which even then Mai got introduced in the second week. She wasn't even the first week, right? And so I think, like the fact that the final five is like as interesting as what they are, as well shown as these players are, I think they've definitely listened to a lot of what fans have said, and also some of them we've like known about since week one, like Perla, like Trinity. You know, Trinity was in Mingle and is literally being held back from saving his friends, right? And so, I think Perla's definitely a top contender. What about Trinity?
Trinity's a good contender as well. Like he's in a good spot, I think. Yeah.
Because I feel like he's, as I know that Gabe described him earlier. I think I saved it, didn't I? Let's see. Yes, I did. So we've got Trinity, the nice guy who people like. He's coming with no beef, no drama with anyone. Like I said, people may be targeting him because he skipped Circle of Trust, but that's like only because, like, hey, I've got nothing else to base my target thing off, right? But I think at this point in the game, everyone's looking at threats, and I don't know if they would see him as a threat straight away, but I can see him making it to the final game and being a close contender to him.
By getting the skip, he also dodged a lot of drama that came up and means that he doesn't have any stink on him. He wasn't there for where a lot of the beef started.
Yeah. And then
I thought that would be a disadvantage for him in Circle of Trust, not knowing any of that backstory that really built up over one game. I thought he could be in trouble with that, but you know, that could actually be his protection because so many of the others will be focused on each other.
Yeah. And then we've got Deja, the most quiet one under the radar. She was in alliance with Faith and Perla. And when, you know, Faith gets eliminated, Deja is now like, okay, now I'm really coming for Steven.
By the way, the fact that Deja is a cop, a police officer, and she said that the completely different vibe she brought to the game as far as standing out like that to what Matthew did, even though they're in the same profession, says so much about them as well, I think.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, it's interesting because I feel like all five of these players, you know, it's anyone's game, like going into it, you know, especially in terms of characters, screen time and stuff. But I think she's probably on the lower end for me, where I don't really see her winning at the moment. Like, I'd definitely put Trinity and Perla higher than her, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then we move on to the next player, Steven, the mad villain himself, the local strategist poker player. I hope he makes it to the final game just for the dramatics of it. You know, like it's him, it's Perla, Trinity, and Vanessa would be my top four.
The
Like,
producers
we'll
would
lose
be
Deja, but
salivating at the prospect of him versus Perla in the end.
100%. They'll be. See, imagine if we got him and Perla doing Paper Scissors Rock. So, like, actually, no, that'll be super boring. Please don't do Paper Scissors Rock again. But yeah, just any kind of intense two-person game. Maybe this one where they do like the actual Squid Game. They bring out like rubber knives or something. You know, that'd be interesting. But I really hope. I don't see Stephen winning, but I can see him making it really far. Vanessa, who has survived literally by the skin of her teeth, in all these games, so scraping by since Mingo playing solo. Kind of a miracle that she's here. And correct me if I'm wrong, Gabe, but wasn't Vanessa in Big Brother Canada? She was in the season of Big Brother as well. So we're Joan from Australian Survivor and Vanessa's from Big Brother. So two gamers from other shows. Obviously, Joan was the first boot. I don't know what place Vanessa
And John T from Million Dollar Island.
On John T. How could I forget? Good old cheeky John T. So yeah, it's been a great cast so far. I've truly loved everyone, but I don't see Vanessa winning though. I'd say like Trinity and Perla, probably my top two contenders. Then there'll be Steven, just from a character perspective. Then Vanessa and Deja. That's how I'd rank them. How about you?
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah. And sorry, my stutter's playing up. Vanessa on that COVID Big Brother Canada season cancelled in the middle of production. Yeah. Crazy. Like, wasn't there a season in Australia that got cancelled mid-production as well? Like, but also, like, hearing that news as well must be crazy, Kahuna. Like, hey, guys, sorry, just to let you know.
They were in the house.
Yeah, this whole, like, global pandemic going on. Like, this virus has gone from, like, you know, a bat to all over the world, you know, like, you know, we're going to have to send you back home to your family.
While we're in the house.
Exactly. But something that did come up, though, was that there's a vote, Kahuna, for you to vote on who you want from this specific cast to come back and play a second time on Squid Game 3. It's 100% confirmed Squid Game 3 is happening. And I kind of just want to go over all the main characters we've had. Right? Now, there's all the people with like large amounts of screen time. Players are eliminated. And this week, we haven't spoken too much individually about. I haven't included the final 5 because I thought you eliminated like players. But yeah, let's go all the way to the very start. Mark, would you vote for him to come back a second time?
No.
No, you're going to say a one and done?
He's a good guy. It's a good character, but he's never going to go far in it. So it's pointless.
Yeah. Like, I do think if it was like creator all-stars cast kind of thing, then like, yeah, maybe bring him back for that if everyone's a returning player. But for one specific player, I agree. I probably wouldn't vote for him to come back. What about John T? Would you vote for our boy to come back?
I mean, probably because he's Aussie. I would support that, but I don't know. Yeah. I don't know who I would like pick out as my favorite, but probably just because of our shared past and the fact that there's $1 Million Island, and I know he's been in the chat with us before and stuff, that I have a thing with him that I would probably pick him, but I don't know if I would pick him based on the show itself.
Yeah. That's
personal bias pick.
Yes. I have casted 2 votes. And I put 1 vote onto John T just because he's our boy, you get what I mean? And John T's always going to be bringing the good stuff. And so, yeah, I hope he gets come back again. What about August?
Don't care. Meh.
Don't care. Move along. Yeah, it's sort of like, yeah, he's a nice guy, but kind of like a one and done kind of thing for me personally. How about Viper? Yeah. The most dramatic elimination we've had.
Viper's one of those guys where I feel like he was hard done by the game of who was around him kind of thing. And I guess he's linked to John T in the same way that he was hard done by too. But the fact that he went through that drama, had that dickhead in front of him, and then he dropped it anyway after performing a magical freaking flying catch is so disappointingly like such a letdown, anticlimactic that there's a narrative of him getting that second chance, I think.
Yeah. Now, I'd love to see Viper come back and play. Obviously, they're like other larger characters that I'm like, I'd love to see, them come back being like, the first player to come back kind of thing. But yeah, I feel like with all these players, we pretty much are going to mention if there's any kind of like all-stars or second chances kind of cast, like you got to call Viper for it. And Viper did have the most dramatic exit in the first batch of episodes. I mean, I think across maybe both of the seasons, the most dramatic. Like, would you agree, Kahuna? Mm-hmm. Across season 1 and season 2, the most dramatic? Yeah.
I'd say so. And then to have to be so confrontational and stuff as well. Like, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And we've got Sydney here. She was the, I'm not spoiled and rotten, I'm just spoiled.
Yep. No. And then couldn't do the knuckles or whatever it is.
The gongi. Yeah. No, I mean, similar with August, kind of like a one and done for me personally. But what about the twins, Raul and Jacob? Would you like to see them come back?
Don't care. No.
Really? You don't care?
No, I don't care.
They're like up there for me when I was making my list on who to vote for. Because I didn't just want to like spam votes for everyone. I wanted my 2 votes to be, to count, to be specific.
Yeah.
But I thought a lot of drama, a lot of tension. Okay. No, that's fair enough. But what about Michael, the musician? You saved him at the start, and then all voted to send away. No?
Yeah.
Right. I guess you don't care about people who saves other people, Kahuna. How wrong of you. We've got Samantha. I would vote to have her back just because of her hair.
Okay, that's a good enough reason, I guess. Not enough of an impact.
Not enough. What about Austin? Obviously, he goes down with the other twin and Mingle when Peter, he dogs him in. Would you vote for Austin to come back?
That's right, because he's changed it. I don't know, man. It's a hard thing because I think like the way the show is built is that it doesn't get you to have these really strong attachments to then come back and pick someone. Like they're like, we've built a show where we're going to be brutal and cut people and you're not going to really get to love them that much, but now we're going to get you to vote for someone. That's weird. I think it's going to have to be just because of recency bias and the way people's brains work. It'll end up being someone from the second half.
Yeah.
That got close or whatever. It won't be one of these early ones.
I mean, like, there are definitely a couple of people where obviously, like, Raul and Jacob were huge characters in the first week that you'll kind of remember. Or there was that jock guy, what's his name? Brighton. In the first season, he lasted 3 episodes, but since he was such a massive presence, you still kind of remember him, right? And so, there are definitely people in the first week. I mean, I don't think they're counting season 1, who you could definitely bring on. Even Viper, who got his only screen time was in the game of Catch, but that's going to be, we're all going to remember that, the game of Catch with Viper, right? And so, but I do think with a lot of this cast, I agree, not that memorable, but let's move on to Natalie. I'd be keen to see Natalie come back and play. She got done pretty dirty in Mingle by Matthew and Stephen, ironically. And so, I'd be keen. But I think once again, if it was like an entire cast was like a second chance or all-star thing, then chuck her on.
Yeah, you're not giving your 1 vote to her.
No, not my 1 vote. The person still hasn't come up yet. I got my other vote too. We've got Eric. Would you be down to see Eric come back and play again?
Sure, I guess, because he had a little bit of a strategic mind in play, but I wouldn't throw a vote on him. I don't know who I care enough about to want them to come back specifically. I also don't hate anyone enough. Like when you say, "Would you want to see Eric?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." That's my reaction. I'm like, "Yeah." Yeah, sure, but not like yeah.
How about Peter? I feel like his one main. he also said during the game of Mingle that if he won the $4.5 million, he wants to open up a Burger King, or sorry, Hungry Jack's. Hungry Jack's for you guys.
This guy gets my award for feeling like the most Squid Game show character.
Yeah, like he
I feel like he
looks
could
he
be
would
on the
actually
Squid
be-
Game USA. He looks like a character actor. He's got like just buying a Burger King just sounds like something they would say on a Korean drama, like a K drama. Like,
yeah. Peter just a bro type, and Eric gameplay I liked, but voters don't like him. I think.
Yeah.
Maybe if he had more of a larger impact on things, maybe they would like him a bit more. I don't know, but how about Marcus? I feel like I'd be interested to see him come back and play again, but yeah, I liked him. He seemed like the bro.
Yeah, he was cool. But like I said, I never really want someone to win that would make zero impact on their life.
Yeah.
Having said that, I don't know what his personal situation is. He may have been one of the many NFL players that are below their millions and are broke, but you know, he's had millions of dollars probably at some point being a Baltimore Raven.
Yeah. And Matthew. I would be really keen to see Matthew come back and play again. No?
I mean, I'd be keen to see him come back just so he can fuck off again.
No, but I feel like Matthew, he's almost like the George and the Russell, right? Where it's like you either love to root for him or you love to root against him, right? And I think no matter what show either of those three guys go on, they're always going to create a lot of drama, a lot of tension and stuff. I think between the three, George will make it the furthest every single time. But yeah, but I can see Matthew, if he ever came back for another show, he'd just get targeted straight away for being the annoying one.
I think that's really unfair to George.
Really? Comparing him to Russell
George
Matthews?
is obviously a gamer. The Matthew comparison. George is obviously very much like a gamer. He's very game focused, but he fostered actual relationships with very strong loyalty. Like, what's her name? Kara is still a friend to. Is it Kara? What was her name? Is it Kara?
Yeah, it's Kara. Yeah,
his Bondi buddy or whatever her name was. Yeah, like they're friends years later, even though he knocked her out of the game. All that, so he's close with her. Like, as much as he was cutthroat in the game for the TV, he obviously fostered actual relationships in there that people say he's very awkward socially, blah, blah, blah. Matthew was abrasive to everybody. Like, they all hated him because of the way he came across. And that's not fun. To me, that's not a good character. Like, he's just a fucking asshole that no one liked. Like, that's not good to me. Yeah. Like, yes, he was big, he was loud, he attracted a lot of things, but he's just a dickhead. Like, what's the point of that?
I mean, I guess for me personally, it's like as long as you're making great TV, like interesting TV, then I always be watching. You know, it's kind of like, you can have a whole group of people where the money would change their lives, but if they're not bringing like entertaining TV, then no one's going to watch it, right? So, yeah, you kind of need like your.
But I'm saying that in and of itself is not as entertaining to me.
Yeah. Well, let's move on.
You know what I mean?
Also, Gabe, I did not give Matthew my vote. The person who I gave my vote to is still yet to come up. We got Karim, who wasn't really a huge character, but he also joined Peter in dogging out the twin brother in Austin, and he was labeled as, he doesn't really have any friends on the show. And so,
was he Aussie? Did you catch his accent?
Yeah, he was Aussie, yes. Yeah. And so, it's fine. I'm fine with not seeing him again. Yeah. We also have Isaiah. I would be keen to see Isaiah come back and play again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully, maybe a second time around, he doesn't just tell people, "Hey, just to let you know, I'm not coming for you, but like I will at some point." You know,
pride cometh before the fall. See how he approaches it.
Yeah. We have Zoe and Kurt, which I did cast my vote for Zoe. Zoe and Jonty.
Really? Why?
I voted for Zoe. Like, I really like Zoe.
I know why.
Throughout the show. No, it's not because of that. No, but I really did like Zoe throughout the show. Like, Zoe to me was very similar with Trey. I was even saying, like, while you were gone, that like with Zoe and Trey, right? Like they lost their parent in marbles, right? They then survive a twist, and then they go out in the next game after. You know, it's like, well, Zoe isn't like maybe a top 10 player for she might be on like the lower end of top 10 like characters in Squid Game the Challenge if I had to like rank them all. But yeah, in terms of a second chance, especially because I made my votes like after I had binge watched, you know, the 4 episodes that came out. Yeah, I'd be super keen to see Zoe come back and play.
I just feel like she, without her dad, like what story did she have that wasn't linked to the drama of being with her dad? At the start, it was like, my dad's so embarrassing and keeps talking to everyone. And then in the end, it was like, I don't want to lose my dad. Like everything is just completely linked to her relationship with her father. And with her being solo, I didn't get a lot of her own thing. I don't know what she's going to bring to the game that's just her.
And we do have comment here from Gabe saying that my English is going. So Kurt might get sympathy votes while Zoe gets those gamer votes. I mean, I'd be just as keen to see Kurt come back and play as well. I think both of them were really good. If there was an All-Stars or second chance, I think having Zoe and Kurt and Trey and Leanne would be pretty great to have on as kind of like the mirror images, you know, of each other. Yeah, and I guess moving along to Mackenzie, something that I was sort of saying while you were gone, Kahuna, is that with Mackenzie, something that I noticed is that she was in a lot of scenes in the first week, like part of a lot of conversations with John T, with the twins, with a lot of different people, but she didn't get a lot of confessionals, like, you know, with the audience. She got a few in the second half, and, you know, she rode solo all throughout the Snakes and Ladders game. Would you be keen to maybe get her a second time?
No, she made zero impact on me whatsoever. I don't
even as
remember much of her at all. Yeah,
that well, yeah. All right, and moving along to Melissa. She was Eric's partner. Not much screen time, apart from just, Eric, why'd you lie to me about your kid? You know, but I thought, you know, she's someone to chuck on as a potential second chance voter, but just by looking at your face, Kahuna, I can tell that you're like, nah. Yeah. All right. So moving on to Claire. She was the monitor who dogged in our boy Isaiah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that in and of itself is pretty good. But again, she was one of those ones that in the circle of trust was like, I think I'm really good at telling when people lie to me. I just love that. Like that. Like, there's not much. Like, she seemed in the game. Like, I got the vibe that she was well liked and people trusted her. The fact that they even chose her as a monitor says that. I don't think she put a lot of people offside. But I was like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. All right, and moving along to Chris. Probably a nah for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we could have seen more from him. I wouldn't want him to come back because we didn't see enough. But I was interested in this dude. I think he was laying low and probably had a little bit more to offer to the game than we got out of him.
Yeah, and I don't think shit gets enough even with a cutthroat move, and even Gabriel says no. Yeah, not enough, sadly. Faith, I did toss up, you know, maybe, but I feel like, you know, similar with Mackenzie, she's like shown a lot with other people, but didn't have a lot of content from herself with the audience until literally the last episode. And so, yeah, I kind of feel like she was more of a bigger, I guess, like person in the dorm than what she was in the final product, just judging by how a lot of people reacted to Faith.
Yeah.
Like being eliminated. So,
yeah.
All right. And I guess moving along to Kate, the final player got eliminated, you know, with her son having a lung infection and stuff. Would you be keen to see Kate come back?
Not really. I don't know. Like,
Really?
I thought she was a cool, like, she was a big character. She obviously played a big part. But when your whole thing is just a sob story, not that I ever shit on anyone with disabilities with their kids, I understand how hard that is. So I wouldn't mind from giving her the opportunity for money. But like I said, her whole identity in the show was just as like a little bit, was about her kids, and that's a hard sell for me. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that brings us to the end of the podcast, bro. Who would have thought 2 hours? I mean, to be fair, a lot of stuff did happen this week. It was really juicy, but yeah, man. Thank you so much for coming back. I always love having the chance to chat with you, bro, especially about shows like these. It's always a lot of fun.
Yeah, of course. I'll always, well, not always, when I find something that's interesting me. And we're lucky that Squid Game is such a cool concept, and I think they execute it so well. Like, this is a show that could go really one of two ways. It's either hit or miss, and I think they're kind of nailing it.
Yeah, no, 100%. And the fact it's confirmed for season 3 as well. Obviously, we saw games like jump rope and hide and seek.
You're gonna apply, right? You're gonna apply.
Yeah, I'll apply. I'll put my name in the ring.
Yeah, you gotta apply.
Yeah, no, there's some juicy stuff and things hopefully coming our way. But yeah, no, Squid Games would be really cool to have on as well. But if you're new to the channel, smash that subscribe button. Subscribe for some cheeky, naughty times. Not gonna lie, I haven't really been up to anything cheeky or naughty recently. I'm just a workaholic. I will be seeing Lady Gaga.
Naughty? Just cheeky or just naughty?
I haven't even really been like either or. You know, like I guess something kind of cheeky is I will be singing Lady Gaga for my birthday, coming up in a few weeks. So that'll be pretty exciting. I still remember, bro, what's it?
The monster?
Yeah, I'm a monster who's always just in a bad romance. But hey, just like Steven, it's because I've got that poker face. But yeah, how about you? Have you been up to anything cheeky or naughty, bro?
Just working, doing that kind of thing, writing my songs.
Exactly. I can watch Kahuna getting low singing this song. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess coming up on the channel, V, Drew, and Jake will be coming back on Friday to talk about last week's episode and this week's episode of American Survivor Season 49. Unfortunately, Drew was on a flight and V was hanging out in the Australian outback, so they couldn't make the timing work to talk about it last week. But Michelle and I will be continuing our season rankings of Australian Survivor. On Wednesday night, we're talking about the very first season 2016, the OG season of Australian Survivor. And then we'll be right on back to talk. Sorry, my English is 2 hours in. My English is dying. But we will be back. Myself, Kahuna, hopefully the Vault will be back to talk about the grand finale of Squid Game, The Challenge. I've been your host, Mucky. Hope Kakita. I know everyone. And I'll see you all in the next stream. Take it easy, guys. Bye.
These